Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash, Season 9. So this has been a pretty big week for DCTV, with us getting a bunch of new and different promo material and just stuff and information leading up to the new season or seasons of the CW's DC shows in the earlier parts of next year, which itself is only like 2 weeks away now. Of course, the biggest of these drops being the Season 9 trailer for The Flash, which of course is its final season, which did show us a decent amount for such a short teaser, and it did get most people quite excited from what I did see and everything like that. Now, the day or so after, roughly, I think it was maybe 2 days after, we got some more stuff for The Flash, as well as some stuff from Superman and Lois, and also Gotham Knights, which is having its series premiere on the same night that Superman and Lois Season 3 also premieres. But we did go over that yesterday or the day before, hopefully, from the point this video comes out and is uploaded. So yeah, if you want to hear about that stuff, go look for that on my channel. But in this video, we are focusing on some of that other Flash stuff that came out after the trailer was released, because it had people talking once again. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts, opinions, theories, predictions, everything like that on the stuff we go over, just on the Flash season in general. Let me know in the comment section down below what you're thinking. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, want to show support and everything like that, want to drop a like on the video to help out. Takes 2 seconds. Now, the first thing I did want to bring up is something that was a bit of a hot topic, or something that people were talking about a decent amount, and that was the change in aspect ratio for Season 9 of The Flash that appeared to be the case in the trailer released a couple of days ago. Now, apparently someone at WBTV did confirm it was a change for the final season, because if it was in the trailer, then it should be in the show, because the show has never just randomly released a trailer in that aspect ratio, and then the show's gone back to the digital format, or the, where it fills the entire screen. It felt weird. So since Season 1 of The Flash has had the 16:9 aspect ratio, which is for digital TV. So you have your LCD, HD TV, and it fills the entire screen. There's no black bars on the sides or on top or anything like that. So we went from the square TVs of the 80s and 90s, and even like into like the early 2000s, into the widescreen TVs of today, from like also the 2000s up to now. But as we have seen with some of the DC TV shows like Batwoman and Superman and Lois, and even some shots from like the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event, they did use a different aspect ratio and continued to with like a show like Superman and Lois, which is called Univisium, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced, which is 2:1 pretty much, or 2.00 to 1. I know this is getting to some like technological stuff, but it's interesting to me that they're doing it for the final season of The Flash. So Batwoman and Superman and Lois did look more professional, if you want to put it, in regards to the filming side of things. So despite just the, black bars on top and below the footage seen in the trailer for The Flash Season 9, it also just looks cleaner. That's something that a lot of people have said, even without addressing the black bars. Just that, hey, this looks a bit cleaner, like more pretty. I don't know what the best word to use. It just looks cleaner. Even just this shot of Barry here, which you can hopefully see on screen right now in the forest or woods, looking up at what many are presuming is Grodd, just looks nice and clean and better than previous seasons. So this is the final season of The Flash. So hopefully it should look like the most cinematic of the seasons based off what we're seeing in the trailer. And in regards to why they're doing it in this final season, my theory, this has no sort of seeds of like potential accuracy, but my belief is that, Batwoman was cancelled after Season 3. They filmed up in Vancouver. They used this stuff for the aspect ratio and this equipment. I wonder if The Flash got their equipment for this final season, or the studio in which The Flash films got new equipment and The Flash is using it for its final season. I'm not too sure what's happening. Maybe we'll get an explanation. Maybe Eric Wallace might talk about it in an interview leading up to the season, because I'm sure, or hopefully someone that interviews and brings it up, because I'd love to hear the answer behind it. But yeah, obviously we've talked about that for enough. So the thing that came out, I think I want to say it was 2 days after the Flash trailer came out, was there was some first look photos for this season from TV Line. It was like their mid-season preview thing, where they talked about a couple of different shows, and some shows got photos and stuff like that, and a couple of different outlets got different photos, but TV Line got the Flash stuff. So let's just go over them, because I'm interested to hear what people have to say. So the first one here is your boy, Barry Allen, in his Flash suit, obviously without the mask. And this is once again, it's siding with what we've seen from the trailer. This just looks nice. This just looks nice and clean. I posted this on Twitter, and there's a lot of positive responses just about this photo here, which did surprise me. When I saw the photo, I was like, that looks pretty cool, but I wasn't expecting people to go like, wow, that looks like such a great shot, because it is. But I didn't expect people to sort of like praise it in that fashion. Now, I'm assuming this is maybe attached to, I want to say the Frost stuff, because the Caitlyn stuff, because that was also in the trailer, but it might just be, it's in the Speed Lab. You can tell by the top there, and also just the Star Lab screens around, but you can see like the track up in like the top of Barry there, or like the tube that they run through. So maybe I'm assuming it might be the Frost stuff, but then again, it might be something else that's happening there. It looks very dark and ominous, like there's no proper lighting there. It's like almost like moonlight coming through or something like that. So it looks a bit dark and ominous. It didn't say what episode it was from, for people wondering. When we get these preview images, it's not like other ones where they might say like, oh, like not 103, but I guess for season 9, it might say like 902 or something, which is like episode 2 of season 9. Didn't have anything like that, at least from what I could see. So, yeah, this is from a mysterious episode in the final season. Now, there were a lot of people thinking that this was a new suit, which I was confused at, and I'm just wondering if it's just because it does look clean, like the photos and stuff like that. But I think what I could see people referring to is that when Barry has the mask on, so when Grant is wearing the mask and he's fully flashed out, there's like a flap sort of thing that comes down the front and goes under the flash icon. But that's when he's wearing the mask. It's very important to remember on the show now, Barry doesn't have a physical mask he takes off. He does like the nanotech thing, which just sort of goes onto his face. So he doesn't do like the pull up the mask and everything like that. He just sort of like, does he tap his ear or tap his something on his suit? I can't remember what he does exactly, but then like the nanotech mask goes on top. So I think that's what people are referring to, because that flap is in there. So they're comparing Barry with the mask to not with the mask, and that's where they're getting confused. I'm not too sure. There might be some minor things, like they might have touched up any areas which maybe had some scuffs and everything from like last season's shooting, but to me it just looks like the same suit. If you can see anything different, let me know, because I'm not too sure what people are referring to, but there might be something different that I'm missing out on. Now, the final two photos people believe go together. So the first one here is Barry and Iris. Iris is rocking a different hairdo than the next photo, which I'm not too sure if that means it's from a different episode, or I'm not too sure. But they're hugging this is obviously Chester on the left there, and I'm going to assume that's Allegra on the right there. Now, this is in Star Labs. You can see like the hallway in the background there. Obviously, they're happy hugging, and people wondering, okay, well, why is that happening? In the next photo, we do see Barry, Iris, and I think that's Cecile there on the left. Those pants that person's wearing on the left there, they look like those leather pants that Cecile always wears. But they're once again happy, just having a chat. But people did note that Iris is drinking what appears to be like lemonade or like water or something like that, where everyone else is drinking either like alcohol or wine. So people believe that these two photos with Barry and Iris hugging Allegra and Chester, and then this photo here with Iris not drinking alcohol, means that Iris is pregnant. Now, I don't think it'd be like a shock to find out that Iris is going to be pregnant in this final season. I think it's pretty much been confirmed by Eric Wallace that's going to happen. The thing that was just unknown was the manner in which it was going to happen. Now, I don't think anyone expected Iris to get like pregnant in like the first episode and then live with that for like 6 months of the show's timeline, and then like she's walking around with like a belly or anything like that. I don't think Candice Patton would want to do that. They might just do a bit where she's like in like the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 episodes of the show, depending on what the time span of that is. She wears like one of those little prosthetic baby bums, like one of those little ones. It's almost like a backwards, like, well, not even a backwards, just like a bum bag, or I think Americans call them a fanny pack, but in Australia we call them a bum bag. But yeah, like almost like a bigger bum bag on the front of your stomach. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen there. They might not even do that, but people are connecting dots, and we know she's going to get pregnant. It just matters when, and I guess how long she is, pregnant on the show. Because if you have it for a certain time period, then there's going to have to be some visible signs of a pregnancy to make people, I guess, believe it. In regards to the hairdo, I don't know if there's anything there. Like, it might be, I saw people saying that maybe it's them coming back from vacation, because I think the last time Iris rocked a different hairdo was when they came back from a vacation or something like that. But Iris is wearing work clothes, or it looks like she's on her way to work. So maybe it's just a different hairdo. So I don't know if these are from the same episode. I'll be surprised if Iris is rocking different hairdos in the same episode. So maybe one's from like episode 2 and one's from episode 4. I'm not too sure, but I'm just relaying what people are saying online. So you can give your thoughts on that. Now, one thing that's of interest, and I've seen a couple of different people bring it up online through like social media and also in the comments section, is time jumps. So we know heading into this season, it's 1 week. It's 1 week since the end of season 8, and that's where season 9 picks up. Now, throughout the season, time jumps is going to be a very interesting thing because there's only 13 episodes, and there has been time jumps before. Like sometimes, like you could have an episode, I don't know, 12, and then between episode 12 and 13, it's 3 or 4 weeks. Sometimes they do that. I don't know if they're going to do that in like the classic way this season. The only time I could see a time jump is either the finale, because they might do like a, 5 or 10 years from now or something like that, or even like 20 years, and we see what Barry's doing in 20 years from the the end of the proper show or the proper show storyline. But we might also get a time jump between graphic novels. So we know that the Red Death graphic novel is ending on episode 5. So maybe there's like a month or 2 or 3 or whatever time jump between episode 5 and 6 to set up whatever they want to do in the back half of the season. It's up to them. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't know if we're going to get the classic time jumps like we would in previous seasons. But we haven't had like one of those big ones for like a few seasons now. Like usually like the biggest time jumps we've had in the past couple of seasons has been like a week or 2. Nothing like 3 or 4 months, sorry, like they sometimes did. Now, obviously, this is some promo stuff, but in regards to new promo stuff, definitely do not expect any more until the new year. I'd be shocked if anything else came out, unless it was like something minor. The only thing I could maybe see coming out as a poster before the end of the year, but even then, I don't think that's going to happen. I think the next piece of promo material, that we will get will probably be a poster in the early parts of next year, probably like a month before the show comes out. So the show comes out, or the last season premieres on February 8th. So maybe on like January 8 or around that area, that's when you'll get a poster for the final season. Hopefully it's a good one. I'd say they've been pretty hit or miss, whichever way you want to put it. Probably more misses, I'd say, for the past few years. So hopefully they release some decent ones, or a decent one if they're only going to release one. Maybe they should release like one that's got everyone on it and then one that's just got Barry. Because the ones that just had Barry were always the best ones because you could do some cooler stuff with them. But because there's so many, it's not a ridiculous amount of people on the show, but when you have multiple series regulars, you get the floating head situation, which hardly any of them ever look good. So maybe they do one with everyone, then one with just Barry. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, as I said, I wouldn't expect anything until early next year at the earliest. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on the show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on all the stuff we went over in this video. Very curious to hear what you guys have to say. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.